Yo, this is a great topic, man. I've always wondered why our great artists are skipping over the media. So, obviously, let's just start with the main guys. We got Drake, Kendrick, J. Cole. I don't know, Kanye West, Jay Z. Our media, such as, Joe Budden podcast, $1 million worth of game, academics. There's a million other podcasts that you could think of, but the likes of Kendrick Lamar, the likes of Drake, while whenever they pop out to do media, it seems like they skip over. I guess our media pundits. I guess you could say Kendrick did it with the Super Bowl with Ebro and Apple Music, but let's jump into this clip where the Joe Budden podcast is kind of speaking on the hypocrisy between, being of the culture, not being of the culture, and representing it in a different way. But let's get right into it.
Allegations that Kendrick get for reasons I won't say. He's half white as you. Same allegations that Kendrick get for reasons I won't say. He's half white as Jewish. The fuck is you looking at me like that for? Like he ain't gonna. That same conversation ain't gonna be had when he keeps skipping over everybody. And
no, there's another
the
reason why
journalists are having those with him too.
There's another reason why. Because Drake don't pride himself on being the culture. That's the real reason. I don't care nothing about this half Jewish or half white. I don't care about that. Kendrick, pretty much since he's come into hip hop, has been
the man of the people.
I'm for the people. I'm for the culture. I'm this.
That's true.
A purist at his heart.
That's right.
When your actions don't necessarily match that as a purist, they looking at you come under a little bit more scrutiny than somebody else who, for the most part, everybody looked at Drake as an outsider.
Good point.
It's a fair point. I won't argue it. I do think that Drake has received a little bit of that from the black media people that are like, hey, he's got to stop at us. He's got to stop at us. And Drake's the first one to be like, no. Yeah. And while I'm at it, hey, nobody needs New York either. I don't know if y'all noticed. Remember he came out and said that too. The first one to say that. Yo, artists, you don't need to stop in New York to do anything. I'm telling you. Like, yeah, so he's the first one to get into that bag. Fair point. All right, we back up in this piece. Anything in the... Oh, shit, my shade. You pass my shades so they don't get to look at my eyes.
Okay, yeah, so there's a few different things that I got. I disagree with. I do think when Drake came into the game, he was a part of the culture. I'm not going to say nobody questioned it, but it wasn't in question if he was a part of the culture. It just seemed like an up-and-coming hip-hop artist. Like, it doesn't seem as if he was a culture vulture or nothing. Like, that never was even a discussion. And obviously the same with Kendrick. Kendrick came in making, I guess, hip-hop that the old school and the new school can kind of get behind. So he's always been the culture. I don't even think necessarily Kendrick is ducking per se. He just doesn't do anything. But I do feel like when he does do it, he kind of makes his rounds kind of around, the culture. I've seen him a Big Boy interview. I've seen him on like I said, the Super Bowl. Obviously, Breakfast Club. He's done Breakfast Club, but yeah, I just think the media is shifting. A lot of the guys are going to streamers to get that what used to be like press run interview or my project or tour's about to start interview. So it's just interesting to see their take on it and trying to correlate it to who they are culturally. And I don't think that's 100% true. I think Drake, obviously, while he is mixed and Jewish, I think at one point he was sitting down outside of like the Breakfast Club or whatever it might be. He's done Elliot post Pusha T beef. He's done Hot 97 plenty of different times early, but I just think now, like I said, the whole media landscape is switching. Like Breakfast Club isn't as popular. Hot 97, I don't really think they're doing interviews the same way anymore. So like those were the two main people to go to. And then obviously now you got the Joe Budden podcast, you got Kai, you got academics, you got all Black Boy Max, anybody that's really streaming at this point qualifies as that, whatever that might be. But I do understand people's anger with Drake because he went to that Bobby Girls podcast and other streamers, Aiden, you know what I mean? Not really anybody of the culture, but it's just like, what, at this point, the culture is mad at him. I don't think he wants to be on the platform and get bombarded and bum rushed with something that as crazy as like worrying about this Kendrick Lamar beef and whatever it is. And same with Kendrick. Kendrick, he's very strategic. He doesn't really jump out. You've never, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I can only think of maybe 5 to 10 interviews ever with Kendrick Lamar that you can even find, you know. So yes, man, thank y'all so much for watching. Please give me your thoughts on it, because I feel like the media game is really changing up, and that's really a bigger thing to talk about, rather than like these two not really focusing on the culture. I think the culture is shifting away from traditional interview and traditional press. But like I said, thank y'all for watching, man. Leave a comment, sub to the video, and I hope y'all have a great day. I'm out.